And I looked at the 4 homes that they said they would have bought, and I was like, actually, I think you would have bought one. And I told them, I'm like, this is a needle in the haystack search. It's not going to happen for you unless we change some things. Either you increase your budget to increase the odds that you can find what you want. We can do the exercise again. Or you decide not to be so damn picky.
If we look at like the listing process or client acquisition process, what are 3 things that someone will learn differently on your team that they may not get a chance to learn somewhere else?
Well, I think one is just going to be like how to close, right? Because they're like literally listening to me. Like, I don't have meetings in person, which is also like really weird to agents. I don't meet with a client in person unless I'm showing them a house or, having a glass of wine. But like as an interview, I don't meet with you in person, right?
Yeah.
Or like, there's certain steps that you have to meet in person, but I don't have time to drive everywhere and drive back and do all that stuff. If something can be done on Zoom, that was like the best gift of COVID. Thank you, and I've never gone back. And that also allows everything to be recorded. So they listen to everything. So getting those, that's the thing is like, if I knew what to say in those first 5 years, I could memorize anything. I could follow a template, but no one could tell me what to say. And it's very hard to know what to say until it's even hard to repeat back the conversation because it's the nuances in real estate. It's like a lot of times if somebody calls me and said, I just had this call with this agent and they said X, Y, and Z, they probably said more than X, Y, and Z. And it was those nuanced things and the way and the intonation that there's like a language behind the language in order to understand like what was really happening there that only comes with experience. So like learning that stuff, it's like these guys are closing sales like left and right. The other thing is that we have like with buyers, we're closing a ton of buyers right now. We decided like last July when the market kind of blip, we're like, okay, this listing sucks. For the first time
Which
in my
is
career,
the opposite of what everyone wants usually.
Yeah, it's like list or die, right?
Yep.
But like the market got hit really hard first in San Francisco. So we felt it first. And I had 4 listings last fall that I took off the market that didn't sell. Like I spend about $4,000 to $5,000 on every listing. By the time I pay like a project manager, do all the photos, the videos, all that. So if I take 4 things, I just lost $20,000, right? Plus like my time that I could have been working on something else. Quite frankly, I'd rather watch paint dry than like work on something that's not going to sell. The seller hates you. Like you worked your ass off for free and they hate you. They might not hate you in all cases, but they don't love you. You're certainly not getting their firstborn child named after you. So I was like, let's be the people beating up people. Let's work with buyers more. And we just started like trying to figure out how to hack things for buyers. So one of the things that we do differently on the buy side is we do this past sold exercise. I think it's really, really valuable where we I had a call with somebody yesterday. We did a past sold and, out of they look at 6 months of sold inventory. And then they told me they would only bought 4 of the homes. And I looked at the 4 homes that they said they would have bought. And I was like, actually, I think you would have bought one. And I told them, I'm like, this is a needle in the haystack search. It's not going to happen for you unless we change some things, right? Either you increase your budget, which a lot of times in San Francisco, they do have the capability to do. Like we get people to move up a lot of times $1 million, $2 million in these calls.
Nice.
So increase your budget to increase the odds that you can find what you want. We can do the exercise again. Or you decide not to be so damn picky, right? Like these people, when they showed up for the call, instead of like deciding that they wanted to be more flexible, they're like, here's the 10 more things that I added to my list of criteria. And I was like, I think you missed the idea here of what the exercise was. We're trying to make it more possible for you. And finally what I told them was, I was like, look, honestly, I don't think you're buying a house for your life right now. And I just don't think your life is miserable enough. Like you like your place. So you're not willing to make the compromises, but you're planning on having a baby. 2 years from now, when that baby needs more space and you need all this stuff, you're going to be ready to compromise. But I don't see it right now. So it's like, I don't really want to waste my time on that, nor do I want them wasting their time on that. I'd rather them just like enjoy your life in your high rise until you have a baby. Call me later, or get real. So I think that, I mean, I say it much, I'm not super subtle,
Yeah, you
but
don't.
I do say it nicer than what I'm saying now. And people appreciate it because they're not wasting their time for years looking for something that doesn't exist. And then and we have had buyers who have been like super, like, I'm like, this is going to take 2 years. Like, it's going to take forever for you to find something. And you're probably never going to buy because you're not going to be motivated to go to open houses and stuff. And you're not going to know the right thing when you see it. But then suddenly that perfect thing comes up and they know that there was only two things that came up in 6 months. And they know, they're like,
Mm.
oh my God, we got to buy this house. We'll do whatever it takes because there's not going to be another one. And I'm like, yes, let's do it. So it's just like puts them in a very different frame of understanding their own priorities and their own compromises.
This is gonna sound crazy because I think I know where you got that from, because I learned that past sold thing, and I've been telling people about that. And when me and my wife started searching back in COVID in 2020, I literally sat her down and I said, "Look, here's the area that we're searching. This is what's sold in the last 6 months. This is what we could have bought. So it's there. We just have to be patient." And I got it from Carrie Scholl, and I know you
It is Carrie
follow.
Scholl. Yes. Yes. She's a good friend of mine. Yes. Carrie taught that to me. Absolutely. She gets all the credit for that.
So is that like something, is that one of the things that you attribute to like why you're able to get buyers to close a lot quicker is you get them to realize there's other
Yeah.
things on
So
top of that?
we do it different than Carrie. Like Carrie does it like in her interview. We have an interview. The client probably spends like 3 or 4 hours on the exercise because it's an exercise. They're going through it detailed. And then I spend 3 or 4 hours on it, understanding their comments because it's not like every market's different. San Francisco is very complex. The stuff is all very different. And there's like a ton of different neighborhoods to like understand. So it's like you got to kind of understand your own market with how to use that exercise. Um, so then we get on a call and go through all that and figure out at that moment what we can adjust. It's not like Carrie does it in like 15 minutes on the call. Like the whole time that we spend on that exercise between the client, my time, and then the follow up time, it's like 10 hours. So it's
Wow.
really time intensive. But because we sell a house first or second time, a lot of times in like the first week that they're looking, we end up shaving off like tons of time. And the client's happier, we get paid faster. Like, what could be better, you know?
Yeah. And if you enjoyed this clip, watch the full episode right up here.